Madden 21 has a lot of bugs, let's be honest. More bugs than in years past. Now you have the big ones that they wow you when you see them because you can't believe that something like this is even happening in a game. And then you've got the bugs that are more under the radar that don't get talked about enough, but these are the ones that affect every single game and take away from the game. So in today's video, I'm going to go over those bugs, the 5 biggest ones that absolutely need to be fixed, and they need to be fixed ASAP, because if not, we're going to be in for a long few months here. Now, if you're new to the channel and you always want to be up to date with the latest Madden news and updates, make sure to subscribe, turn on the bell icon so that you never miss out on any of these important uploads. So in this video, I'm not going to talk about the crazy bugs, right? I'm not talking about the white screen glitch, right? Which is absolutely awful. I'm not talking about the glitches and stuff where the lines disappear from the field. Again, absolutely awful. Just really, I don't understand how this type of stuff happens. I've even seen a glitch where a guy literally runs off of the bench, off the sideline, and takes a player out. Again, these are things that can literally ruin your experience the second they happen. But the one thing about these bugs is these are the 1 in 10,000. These are the ones that you don't see every game. These are the ones that happen, like I said, 1 in 10,000. For example, I've played a lot of Madden 21 and I have not had a single one of these things happen to me one time. However, they are happening often enough to other people for there to be multiple videos of these things popping up of the same thing. Those need to be fixed. Obviously, those are going to be addressed. It's awful that they're in the game, but the 5 bugs I want to talk about today are the ones that literally affect every single game. The things that you can't get away from, that you can't not have happen to you. Because those are the ones that I think are the biggest issue, because like I said, they actually affect every single game. And they don't just happen 1 in 10,000 or whatever the number may be. So number 1 on that list, without a doubt, is the accelerated clock bug. Now, if you don't know what this is, let me explain it to you. There's an accelerated play clock in Madden, especially in online games, that helps get the games, the matchups done a little bit quicker. Typically on default, this will run down to 25 seconds on the play clock. So if you call your play break the huddle at 35 seconds, usually it runs down to about 25, which is fine. Gives you plenty of time to audible, make adjustments, whatever. Now, there is a feature that is called chew clock, which you put on at the end of games. You're trying to run out the clock, milk it out, and you're just trying to run the ball every play and just get the game over with. Try to keep the ball away from your opponent, run the clock down. This feature runs the clock down to 10 seconds, and that's fine when you're actually trying to milk the clock. However, there's a bug right now when you're playing online, especially. I don't know if this is happening for online players, but definitely in online matchups, where this accelerated clock will randomly go to the chew clock and pull it all the way down to 10 seconds. I mean, this happens at least every few plays online when the clock is running, and it completely ruins the game. It makes it unplayable sometimes, because if you're breaking the huddle at 30 seconds, normally, like I said, it runs down to 25. You're expecting to have 25 seconds to make your adjustments, maybe audible if you see something from the defense you don't like, you want to audible. When that clock runs down to 10 seconds, it pretty much takes any type of adjustments away from you on offense. You can only get 1, maybe 2 hot routes in at best. You can't audible to a different formation. Sometimes you might see something a little bit last second that you don't like and you want to audible to a different play, but you can't, because you're already starting at 10 seconds. You only have 10 seconds to make anything you want happen, as opposed to having 25 seconds typically. I haven't even seen EA mention this one. They've put out a lot of patch notes for upcoming updates. I haven't seen this one mentioned, which leads me to believe, I don't know what's going on, but this is the biggest issue by far in the game right now that needs to be fixed, because it makes certain times the game unplayable. Number 2 on the list is the kick meter bug. Now, I put out a video saying the kick meter just seemed a little off, but I thought, they were doing some different things. It said that they were going to make, the accuracy a little tougher. But the more I've played and the more I've seen other people talk about it, it seems like the kick meter is actually kind of bugged out. It lags sometimes, to the point where I'm seeing Madden players that, good Madden players, scared to kick field goals because they don't know if the kick meter is gonna act right, pretty much. I've just seen a lot of people missing kicks that normally don't miss kicks. It's sometimes the kick meter just randomly lags. Don't know why, but it's not perfect every time like it should be. And that's another bug I haven't really seen them mention or address. And that's another one, because you're kicking field goals, you're kicking the ball off every game, pretty much, right? You're kicking field goals pretty much every game, unless you're just having a great game. But even still, you got to kick your extra points. When the kick meter's lagging, that's costing people points. And again, this is a game-to-game problem that's causing, issues, and it's taking away from the game. Number 3 on the list, the contain bugs. I mean, they just can't get contains right. I'm convinced at this point they cannot get contains right. Every year I get excited because they say, yeah, we got contains right this year. And I'm like, finally, let's go. They've been broken every year, and every year they're still broken. So right now, we got two things. Number one, the 146 blitz from last year is back. It might be better than ever. It's a little bit different, but it's back. You get the cornerback on a contain, he comes flying off the edge, the running back ignores him, he doesn't want to block him, the offensive line doesn't want to block him. It's something about these contain like assignments that the offense just has a tough time recognizing that sometimes they turn into blitzers and they're just like, we're just gonna ignore them, we don't want to deal with them, we're gonna let them come right into QB. And it's just if you want to blitz somebody, blitz them. But when you blitz people, a lot of times the blitzes get picked up. It's the guys on contains that they can't seem to like ever focus in on. The contains are supposed to contain the QB. They're supposed to rush the QB in certain situations, but they're not supposed to be this automatic blitz angle every play. And then on the other issue that we have is that there's a glitch where on 3 down lineman sets, certain ones where you can get the contain to pretty much glitch through the offensive line, where he'll disengage with the O-line almost immediately. Like they touch him and then they just say, okay, go on by now. And it's just a straight beeline to the QB. Now, don't get me wrong, it's tough to play defense this year, so I hate to like complain about anything that works on defense, but this is clearly a bug that shouldn't be a thing. There's other ways to play defense. People are finally starting to catch on, but with contain glitches being a thing again, I don't want to go through another year of contain glitching. I don't want to. And I do think they've already mentioned this one that they're going to fix it, but it's still an issue right now, so it's going in the video. Number 4 on the list, the man switch glitch or bug. So man defense is actually pretty good right now for the first time in a while, but a lot of people are just going to man defense because it's the beginning of the year, people don't know what to run, especially on offense, people get lazy and they forget how to beat man defense, so man seems a lot better than it actually is. Now don't get me wrong, it definitely is pretty good right now, but because of this, people have tried to figure out ways to glitch it, and now there's the man flip glitch where in certain sets, if you motion a player, you can cause the cornerbacks to swap assignments. So the player that you're motioning, that cornerback, in his mind, he thinks, okay, this motion is going to carry over to the other side of the field. So now my assignment's switching. I have to go to the other side of the field, and I might have to pick up the other receiver, and then that cornerback's going to pick up the one that's being motioned. I don't know exactly how they're getting confused, but basically you can motion the guy a few steps. The cornerback will then start to move because in his mind, he thinks, I have to go to the other side of the field now because this player is in motion. And then you snap the ball while he's in motion, and now both of those receivers are basically uncovered because the cornerbacks have swapped assignments, and they're on the opposite side of the field. So now they have to run over to the other side of the field to catch him, and they're not typically going to catch him, especially if you have him on a streak or something. You're going to be able to just bomb that out for like a big play or a touchdown. I do think they also mentioned that they're going to be fixing this in the upcoming update. But again, it's in the game right now. It's one of the biggest glitches or bugs in the game right now. Definitely needs to be addressed along with the other things I've mentioned. And number 5 on the list is something that is for the squads community, because I've seen a lot of people complain about this. There is a QB bug or glitch in the squads games. I think for Mud Squads and maybe Superstar KO, this is happening as well, where whoever comes into the game as the quarterback, it will switch your assignment when you snap the ball. So like the quarterback will then be controlled by the computer. I think even sometimes on occasion the quarterback will be controlled by the other teammate instead of you, who is supposed to be the quarterback. Again, the common theme with all of these bugs is these affect game to game. So if you want to play squads, you can't really play squads right now because as the QB, you're not going to get to be the QB. Your assignment's going to change. It's going to go to somebody else or the computer, and that's not what you're trying to do. That's not how you're trying to play. Somebody has to be the QB. You don't want the computer or the other person controlling the quarterback when it's supposed to be you. So if you want to play squads games, you can't. If you want to play regular online games, you got to deal with accelerated clock, the kick meter lagging. If you want to run man defense, you're like, well, I got to be careful because they can switch my assignments now and leave a guy wide open. You got to watch what you're doing on offense because the contain glitches are coming in unblocked. These are things to me that hamper the game the most because they affect every single game. The other glitches and bugs, as awful as they are, the one good thing about those is that they're rare across the game, whereas, you know, like me and some other people have never seen it happen to us. We've just been lucky. It's never happened. But the other guy might have seen it happen once out of the 100 games or 50 games that he played, and that one game for him was awful. But the ones that affect every single game are the ones that are, to me, the biggest deal. because you can never get away from those. So I think underneath these bugs, I think online, I've said it, I've had fun in Madden 21. I think online is actually good. I think the game is fairly balanced, which is a big difference from Madden 20. That was the biggest knock on Madden 20, is that the game was not balanced. It was overpowered with abilities one way or the other. The run was more overpowered than the pass. There's balance, but these bugs that are on top of it are holding it back. Now, the offline, I've been saying for months, offline's awful. Franchise, don't buy the game. Face of the franchise, I wouldn't buy the game because I think it's awful. Online players pretty much always buy the game because they want to compete against other players, and that's where the action is. So there's a lot of bugs that need to be cleaned up, and I think online for Madden 21 could be pretty decent or good if you can clean up these bugs and get them out quickly, not let them linger on. As far as offline, I've said it, I'm chalking offline up. Hopefully Madden 22, hopefully next gen is better, but offline is awful. They've waited too long to do anything about it. At least you seem to have gotten their attention with the fixed Madden franchise, so that's good, but this is looking to be the year of the bugs if they don't get it under control quickly, and they need to act now. Hope you enjoyed this video and found it helpful. If you did, as always, like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you guys next time.